Again, and welcome to Tips with Andrew. I am Andrew Sapiano. Thank you so much for joining me on this happy Saturday. Some weird weather we are having out there today. We are hit with a snowstorm out here in Ontario, so we are having a little bit less than stellar weather today, but you know, it's great to look at. It's great to stay inside and be a part of. Not so great to be out there on the roads. That's okay. Doesn't mean we can't rock it out. Doesn't mean we can't have an awesome day and get some excitement while we're at it. Quick update. doTERRA this month is giving away $50 in free product points when you enroll with a 150 PV order. So if you're interested in getting some free products from doTERRA, definitely drop me a comment, send me a message, and we'll get you rocking. I am just in the finishing touches of my weight loss course that I'm putting together. So if you are interested in early bird access, definitely drop me a comment and we'll get you started on that. What I wanted to talk a little bit today, actually, I guess let's just dive right into today. I guess we're just diving in. What I wanted to talk a little bit about was reducing pain at home, simple tips on how to effectively reduce pain, right? On how to get yourself sort of going back ready for the whatever it is that you're doing that is being held back by your pain. And I know myself, I deal with it all the time. A little bit about my story. When I was younger, I played hockey and I dislocated both my shoulders. Also, coming with hockey, my knees were they're a little bit less than stellar than they used to be. But so I've got some tips that help me deal with pain. I definitely get pain every now and then, and so I wanted to share them with you, and hopefully they help. You can get some value out of this. Let's get right into it. So the number one tip that I have is to practice breathing exercises to calm the mind. Now this goes along with the meditation aspect of it. But this actually is something that I don't have too much experience with. I haven't dove too deep into this subject yet, but I'm definitely learning this. I'm definitely going through the practices to try and learn it, and I definitely invite you to come and join me on this great journey. All the research is there, right? Meditation is great for calming the mind, calming the body, and also what happens more than anything when you're in pain, your brain sends a signal to that part of your body to let it know that it's in pain, right? If you picture touching a hot burner, when you touch the hot burner, it takes a little bit of time for you to realize that it's hot, because you touch it and then it sends a signal to your brain saying that it's hot, and then your brain sends a signal back down to say, stop touching that. That hurts. It's no different than with any pain in your body. Your brain sends signals to that location on your body to let it know that this is discomfort that I'm dealing with, and I don't like this as your brain, and it's telling you that you might not like this either because this is very much discomforting. But mindful meditation, practicing breathing exercises that can control or sort of calm your mind, right? Allow it to reset a little bit. Those are definitely going to be great in the long run, because what happens is if you train your brain to calm down and to think about other things, when you start, I mean, it's not really the way you want to live, but a lot of the time, like when I was younger and my arm would hurt or my leg would hurt, we'll just take the arm example. When my arm would hurt, my dad would be like, yeah, do you want me to hurt your leg? Because then your arm won't hurt. And I mean, no, I don't want that, because now my leg will hurt and probably my arm will still hurt, but that's actually a really, kind of interesting thing to think about, is that if you take your mind off of your arm pain, right, and in this case, give yourself leg pain, it's going to sort of calm and tone down your arm pain, because it's focusing so much more on the leg pain. So if you can train your mind and your brain to calm down in that moment and start thinking about something else, that's definitely going to help you in the long run by, not having that sensation come up as often. Tip number 2 is to practice posture awareness. I actually really like doing this one. I have just recently, I've gotten this really bad pain in my upper back, and it's hurting a lot. But what I notice a lot of the times is, especially with the cell phones, right? Your head's down like this, and you're reading the cell phone all the time, and you know, you're kind of slouched over all the time. And if you're not making a conscious effort to really straighten your back up and to be aware of your posture, a lot of times what I like to do now is just find a wall and just stand up against it. And then when I'm standing up against it, it just automatically puts my body into a straight sort of posture, the way that the way that your body's designed to work, right? It's designed to work. If you think about your skeleton, right, it's designed to be in a certain straight form, right? It's not designed to be hunched over like this or like that. And your neck is actually just an extension of your spine. So posture awareness is going to be huge. I like using this one actually, and I've started using it a lot more. Another thing you could do is to raise your arms up, right? Cup your arms or cup your hands like this, interlock your fingers, and then just reach up as far as you can. And that way, what I actually heard about this one is if you do this for for 3 deep inhales 3 times and then a bunch of times throughout the day, it actually does help increase your posture, and it helps to straighten out your spine, straighten out your back, and just use everything. I like it because when I do this, I can automatically tell right away that it's stretching out my back, and it's making me feel less discomforted than what I was a little bit ago. Posture awareness is nothing more than if you're sitting, like I said, I like to find a wall. A wall is great for me because then I know that I'm straight, right? I'm perfectly straight, and there's nothing is really out of place. But if you can't always do that, right? So if you're sitting down, right, a thing to do is just sit up straight. What you want to do is maybe pull your shoulders back a little bit, right? And then push your chest out, really push it out. And then that way you can feel your back just stretching. For me, that helps a lot. So like I said, I got this upper back pain that's just been killing me for the last little bit. And posture is a huge thing, especially nowadays. Like I said, with the cell phone, we're always with our heads down like this. More often than not, we're slouched over like this. And that's not good for your posture, for your back, for your shoulders, for any part of your body. So practice posture awareness. If you find yourself hunched over a little bit too much, and your back starts to hurt, definitely straighten up. And then you can even look up also. Like, that's not the way that your brain or your body is designed to be, with your head looking up. But looking up is definitely a way to straighten up the rest of your back. So it's kind of like a give and take. It's not great for your body, but it helps you to straighten up your back. I didn't want to talk about any of this because this is my next tip, and I love the way that these flow together. Journal your daily activities, right? So this one goes back to my last point with posture awareness. Journal what you're doing throughout the day that causes you discomfort, right? If it's certain things, if it's the cell phone, if it's you being hunched back over, if it's you being on the computer all day, right? Nowadays, we're at home, everybody's at home all the time, so we're doing homework. Man, I hated that as a school kid. So it's very easy to not take certain things into consideration that help you in your health and wellness journey, right? So journaling your daily activities is going to be great for you to find out what you're doing throughout the day, and then you can go back and see where you maybe pushed yourself too much. So the second part of the journaling, the daily activities, is to actually go through and reassess what you did throughout the day, right? Recoup and figure out what happened throughout the day that made you feel painful or made you feel discomforted, and then think about what you did throughout the day that made you feel good, made you feel well, didn't hurt you. Little things that you had to do that made you feel better. Perhaps something that you did that made you feel better, right? So this is where journaling your daily activities is going to help in every aspect of your life, because you're going to realize what you're doing, where you're doing it, how you're doing it, what you're eating, right? Eating is going to be a huge part of dealing with pain. Food is fuel, right? Food is nutrition. So if you're not having the proper food and nutrition in your daily diet, then you're not giving your body bleh. You're not giving your body a good enough fighting chance right off the bat. So, proper nutrition is going to be huge. And then journaling is also great for this type of thing, because nobody wants to write all day that they, I had McDonald's for breakfast, or Tim Hortons for breakfast, McDonald's for lunch, and then Burger King for dinner, right? If that's your day-to-day activities, you're not going to want to write that every day. So either A, you're going to stop writing, or B, you're going to change your habits and incorporate something that's good for you, some healthy food alternatives, right? Maybe we replace one of those meals with, a weight loss shake or a meal replacement shake, something like that. Something that is going to benefit your goals in the long run. Journaling is great. It's also great to put pen to paper. You tend, when you have everything up in your mind and you're thinking about it, you tend to over exaggerate and overthink and make things seem like they're much worse than they are. So when you put it down on paper, you can start answering a lot of your questions, and B, figure out make it less than what you're making it seem like, because all of your problems are not as big as they are in your head. I know that for a fact. Tip number 4 is to distract yourself. This is something that we talked about earlier in the sense of taking your mind off of your pain. And this is actually really cool, because if your mind, you become what you most focus on, right? So if you're focusing on how much your arm is in pain, or how much your back is in pain, you're only going to get more pain, because you get what you focus on the most. But if you distract yourself and you take your mind off of it, not watching TV or something like that. I'm talking about like a legit distraction, pick up a hobby, something like that, something that's not going to injure you, definitely. But distracting yourself, this is like I mentioned before, your mind, you get more of what you focus on. And the old say, like the joke that we had was, your arm hurts, I'll hurt your leg, and then your arm won't hurt. and I laugh at this all the time, because it's not really true, but it kind of is true in the sense that if you distract your mind off of your pain, right? If your arm's hurting and I whack your leg with a hammer, your leg is going to start hurting a hell of a lot more than your arm is hurting, unless you broke it, right? Now, just assuming that it's just some little pain like funny bone or something like that. But distracting yourself, taking your mind off of the discomfort that's happening in your body is going to be beneficial, because it allows your mind to focus on something else. This is a great, where we practice breathing exercises are going to be huge for this one, because then you can focus your mind off on something else instead of focusing on the discomfort that you're feeling. So distracting yourself is going to be a huge tip, and it's definitely something that you need to practice. It's definitely something that is not going to happen right away, and you're more often than not going to still feel the pain. But after you practice and you keep going, it's definitely going to it's going to get easier in the long run. My next tip, number 5, is to laugh more. I like this one because when you laugh, when you smile, you send signals to the brain that says you're happy, and it releases those chemicals, right? The endorphins, the serotonin, stuff like that, the feel-good chemicals that it releases in your brain to allow you to, to not feel so down, so discomforted, so, not cool right now, right? Actually, I like this story that I heard the one time. There was these 2 guys, and they both had knee problems, and they both needed a knee replacement. That's what it was. So what happened was they both went in for the surgery, and the one person went in, got the surgery, everything was good, blah, 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 replaced the knee, everything happened, boom. The other person, he didn't actually, go through the surgery. He just went through the process of going through the surgery. So what happened was he went, into the table, into the MRI machine, got the tools, and it went through the whole process of getting the knee replacement. But he didn't actually get his knee replaced. And they both ended up better. They both ended up healed. So that right there is the power of your brain. So laugh more. Another story quickly that I like about that one is this one person I read that he was he in a coma maybe, and he was, not looking good. Nothing was really working, and they were just kind of, helping him until it was time. What they did was they put on comedy movies and cartoons and just watched that, had him watch that all day, every day. And although he couldn't laugh, the chemicals in his brain, the like I said, the endorphins, the serotonins, those were getting released, and he was actually being happy without smiling and without laughing and all that stuff, right? So because he was happy and because he kept filling his mind with positive thoughts, positive energy, laughter, smiling, he actually ended up recovering and came out of a coma. And as far as I know, he's perfectly fine right now. No, maybe not perfectly fine, but more fine than he was when he was on the bed, right? So that's the power of smiling, laughing, positive thinking. What was the thing that I read just recently was, I mentioned this. You become what you think about the most. So if you're always, a negative Nelly and down on yourself and not really positive at all, you're going to get more of that, right? So if you're laughing, if you're smiling, if you're positive, if you're happy to be around, if you're happy-go-lucky, all that stuff, it's going to come back to you. So that's what you need to realize right there. The power of positive thinking, the power of laughter, the power of your brain is more than we could ever imagine. So be positive, not the blood type. But be positive, laugh more, definitely take your mind off of the discomfort that you're feeling. My next tip is to rest. This is pretty much self-explanatory, right? When you're hurting, you don't want to be going a million miles a minute. You actually want to rest and sort of calm down a little bit. And I get it. Another thing with that is, if you don't rest yourself, your body will rest for you in the form of an injury, a hospital visit, maybe a break, maybe a tear, maybe a muscle cramp or something like that. Whatever is happening, if you don't rest and you don't give yourself proper rest, adequate, downtime, your body is going to make you rest. That's the one great thing about your body is it knows what it needs all the time, right? Sometimes you get super tired and you want to keep going, but your body just won't let you. It's the same thing with pain, right? You want to keep going, but your body just won't let you. And that's what you want. You don't want to get to that point where you're hurting and your body's forcing you to rest. You want to rest on your own. You want to be your own boss, if you will, and take that into consideration. Definitely rest. Take time to allow your body to heal. One of the things that I read more than anything was when you're exercising, you want to give your body a rest day, a rest period in order to, it's sort of one of those, like, you need it in order for it to build up the muscle, build up all of to lose fat, right? And build muscle. Your body actually needs rest periods to be able to go through all of the motions that it needs to in order to do what it needs to do, right? If you're building muscle, right, what's happening is you're actually tearing your muscle and then you're building it back up. So that's the way that it works when you're building muscle. So you're actually ripping apart your old muscle and then your body is putting it back together to create a new muscle that's more powerful than it was before. So you need that rest time to allow your body to recuperate, to help, to wind down. And like I said, if you don't rest on your own, your body will rest for you. It is that smart. And then my last tip, more than anything, is essential oils. I love essential oils for every single thing in my life, and this is no different. Essential oils like lemongrass are actually great for helping to repair muscle and tissue, or great for muscle and tissue repair. This is one that you would use topically to allow it to sort of sink into your insides and allow it to get into your muscles and sort of repair from an inside out thing. I love using this one. This one's used in almost all of my blends. Another oil is lavender. Lavender is actually known as all things calming. So any sort of inflammation, discomfort that you have that's acting up, lavender is great for calming it down. A lot of people don't actually like the smell of lavender because lavender is actually one of the most synthesized oils in the world. All that means is that it's chemically produced at a rate of higher than any other oil in the world. So it's not uncommon for you to get a synthesized lavender oil and its smell not the greatest. So a lot of people are shy away from the smell of lavender because for the most part, it doesn't smell very good. But pure lavender is actually great because you can do the test. We actually have a dollar store lavender versus the pure lavender, and you can smell right away. It's huge. And actually, the great part about that is people that don't like the smell of lavender actually love the smell of pure lavender because it's awesome. My next oil is copaiba. Copaiba is actually one of the most anti-inflammatory oils on the planet, and I use this one almost all the time. I love using that actually as a drop under my tongue to help my inflammation from an inside out perspective. But I like using that one along with frankincense. The two together are a very power couple. This one is known as, what is it known as, the queen of oils or something like that. It's used for almost everything, and it's beneficial for almost everything. So I love using that one. That's all I got for you for today. My tips to reduce pain at home: breathing exercises. Consider breathing exercises to calm the mind. Meditation is going to be huge. I haven't dived too much into it, like I said, but I'm going in now, and I invite you to join me for the journey. Posture awareness. Anything you can do to bring your posture back up straight is going to definitely help you to reduce any sort of discomfort in your body. Number 3, journal your daily activities so that you can see where you're getting discomfort from and where you're able to alleviate it a little bit. Number 4, distract yourself. Take your mind off of the discomfort that you're feeling and put it onto something else. Number 5, laugh more. Send a signal to your brain stating that you're happy, everything is good, everything is well, and it will send a signal back to your body in the form, no, it won't send a signal back to your body. But if you laugh more, it will definitely help you to not feel so down on yourself. Number 6, rest. This is like I said, it's self-explanatory. If you don't rest, your body will rest you in the form of an injury or a hospital visit. And my last tip, essential oils. They're good for everything. I love them. That's all I got for you for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Feel free to share this with your friends, a family member, perhaps somebody from your team that you feel needs to hear this. If you'd like to learn more about essential oils or how to get your hands on some of this cool stuff that I talk about, or how to get some free stuff from doTERRA, definitely drop me a comment, send me a message, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you guys have an awesome rest of your weekend, and I love you guys. I look forward to talking to you again. Bye for now.